Right, on this week's Play Both is former Tranmere Rovers right back, Jake Caprice. Jake, welcome to the programme. Hope you're okay.
Yeah, I'm all good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. A random one to start us off. You're obviously from down south. Various football data sites, though, say that you were born in Brazil. Is this correct?
Incorrect. I don't know where that's come from. Someone mentioned it to me years ago when like earlier on in my career, but yeah, I don't know where that came from, but no, that's not true. I was born in Lambeth, London.
We know you can play like a Brazilian, but we didn't think you were born there. But we just thought we'd clear it up because it's been something that we wanted to ask you since you signed for Tranmere. You started your career at Crystal Palace before moving on to Blackpool, Dagenham, St Mirren, Tamworth, Lincoln, Woking, and then you played for this week's opponents, Leyton Orient. Just tell us about your time at Leyton Orient, if you don't mind, Jake.
Yeah, I was there for a year. The club was in transition, I think, at that period. The new owners had just taken over that are still in charge now and signed a lot of players that summer. I think we maybe signed over 10 players, 10, 15 players. It was literally like a brand new squad, which the first year, I mean, we started off really well. And then under Steve Davis, and then we had a little bit of a blip, I think around October, November period. And then he ended up leaving, and then Justin Edinburgh took over and the team picked up. But yeah, it was I had a good time there, good memories, met some really good people. I also had my son while I was at Orient, so that's always like a special memory. But yeah, it was a good time. It was a good period.
And you got to play under Justin Edinburgh too, which sadly he passed away not long ago. What was he like to play under?
Yeah, he was well, at the time he was kind of like a breath of fresh air. He came in, he kind of simplified things. He was a good man manager. Yeah, he was good. I only worked under him for a short period of time, from I think December when he came until the end of the season. So it wasn't didn't work with him that long, but from what I've seen, and from obviously I still spoke to the boys that were there the year after when they got promoted. So yeah, they had nothing but good things to say about him.
You stay at Leyton Orient was brief, and then you made the switch to the Super White Army at Prenton Park. Was that an easy decision to join Tranmere after our promotion back to the Football League?
Yeah, it was kind of a no-brainer. I think once the interest was there, yeah, I was kind of desperate to get it done. Obviously, I wanted to get back into the Football League at the time. I played against Tranmere a few times when I was at Woking at Orient, and I'd always done well. And the manager, I actually spoke to Mickey Millen when I was at Woking after the game, just saying like I'd done well and he liked me or whatever. So I always knew that there was some kind of interest there. But yeah, I was happy to get it done, and I was glad to be back in the league myself, and also Tranmere back in the league as well.
And how did you find Mickey as a manager? Because obviously he's now gone down as an absolute Tranmere Rovers legend. What's your view on Mickey?
Yeah, he helped me massively. I think I improved like loads under him. He the way he played suited me, wanted me to get forward and express myself, and the way the team played, I think we just gelled as a group that year. We got promoted. I came in and everything kind of just clicked. Norwood was banging goals left, right, and centre. I think we kept the most clean sheets in the league that year also. So everything just kind of clicked as a team that year. Yeah, it was a good year.
And you mentioned there James Norwood. He had an absolutely spectacular season in front of goal. I know some people had totally written him off and said that he'd never make it in the Football League. And my God, he absolutely proved them wrong.
Sorry, my phone. Yeah. Norwood was I think there's loads of players like that. I mean, in the conference and that haven't been given the chance, in the Football League, that are more than capable of, but it's just a matter of, someone giving them that chance. And Norwood is, a prime example of that. He got into the league. I think it was his first time in 10 years or something like that at the time, and he took the league by storm. So yeah, I think there's loads of players in the lower leagues that are capable of playing higher. It's just about being given that opportunity.
And a squad that it wasn't just down to James Norwood's goals too. There was quality right through that Tranmere Rovers squad, and it wasn't until the second half of the season that we really knuckled down and had the traditional Tranmere second half of the season and kicked on for them playoff places.
Yeah, I think if I can remember, we started quite well, and then we had a bit of a. I think we had a period where we lost a few games, and we wasn't as close to the playoffs as we would have liked. And then I think, if I can remember, it may have been February times. It was after January times, after the Tottenham, the FA Cup game. I think we clicked as a team, and I think we won like 7 in a row. And yeah, from then on, I think we was at that point, at that period, we was chasing automatics, and then we just missed out on the automatics. And but that period we was in a good vein of form. So yeah, we went into the playoffs confident that we could win it.
Now, even to get in the playoffs at all in your first season back in the Football League is something special. But the way it all came about, in the fashion it came about, and as the man who put the ball in the box for the goal, that's going to be one of the highlights of your career.
Yeah, that probably will. If I'm honest, the highlight of my career. It was just playing at Wembley. It was my first time at Wembley. I think, and obviously, I know the club had been there 2 years previous, but it was my first time. And obviously, at this point, the fans, football was normal. The fans were in, so my family was there. My son was there. So yeah, it was definitely the highlight of my career. Playing at Wembley, and obviously the bonus of winning and assisting the winning goal.
And to score it in the 119th minute, you can't get much more dramatic than that.
No, I think, yeah, it would have been nicer to obviously scored earlier and maybe been 2 or 3 up, but you take the win however it comes. At the time when I did set up the goal, I didn't even have the energy to run over to the boys and celebrate. That's how tired I was. So yeah, we'll take the win however it came, and yeah, it was a brilliant memory.
And I don't know whether you check social media or you're aware, but you have now gone down as a cult hero at Tranmere for the player who put the ball in the box for that goal.
Yeah, I'm not. I do have the socials. I don't check them that often, but yeah, like I said, it was probably the highlight of my career. Obviously, setting up. I mean, like I said, I was desperate to get back in the league when I did sign for Tranmere, and to prove that obviously I could, I was capable of playing, and then to get promoted in the first season and set up the winner was, I couldn't have asked for it to go any better.
So up to League One we go. Arguably a weaker squad than the one that we went up with. We lost a few players, but we battled on. It was a tricky start to the season, is it fair to say?
Well, for me personally, it was. I got injured the last game of pre-season, so I was out the first 2 months of the season, and then obviously, but I was obviously following the team and obviously going to all the games and stuff. It wasn't an ideal start. I think we had a few new players in at the top end of the pitch. A few new players just in general. We had a few big characters leave. Maka left. Obviously, Norwood. Barco was a big character. So we had a few big characters leave, and it was, it took any new squad's going to take time to gel. And I think obviously getting promoted was obviously that little bit extra, but yeah, I think once the lads settled down and we did put some good performances together and a few good results, and we went on a good run in the FA Cup, so it wasn't all doom and gloom last year. There was some positives.
How did the squad feel though when you came back? And you say you lost the, because we know Macker, he's a bit quiet off the pitch, but on the pitch he's a leader. Bucko, the goal from Norwood. What how did the squad feel he remained? Because obviously the goals, the voice, it's a lot to lose, especially after you've been promoted.
I think we were still quite confident, to be honest with you. I went into pre-season feeling confident that we would do well in League One. I think the players we recruited were good players. We did recruit some quality, so it wasn't, we wasn't thinking, we haven't got Norwood anymore, like we're going to struggle. And then we did recruit some good players, but like I said, no one was going to be a direct replacement. Everyone has, their different qualities, and it was about adjusting to their qualities. But yeah, it was, any new squad takes time to gel, and I think it just so happened that we'd just been promoted and a few players had left. Just one of those things.
The season didn't go to plan originally. We trundled on. We were in the relegation zone for a large chunk of it. We recruited well again in January, like we always seem to do. The squad got stronger. We looked like we were about to mount a massive survival campaign, and then pop, it all stops. That must have been frustrating.
Yeah, I think at the time when the whole Corona thing had just happened, we just won 3 on the bounce. The team, had good momentum. I think we had everyone around us to play it. I think I was having this conversation with someone the other day. I think, without, the stoppage, obviously due to Corona, I'm 100% confident we would have stayed up. We recruited well in Jan. The squad. I think we had a lot of injuries last year as well. Unfortunate times as well. A lot of key players picked up big injuries, and so we never had a fully fit squad until I think that time when I think everyone was fit and fiery and ready to go. So yeah, it was one of them things. But listen, no one could have anticipated it. So it was just one of them things we had to kind of deal with.
So football stopped. It looked like, and I'm convinced that we would have stayed up. I think we had the quality and the momentum to do so. It was voted against us, and we were demoted back down to League Two. To be told you were being demoted to League Two, with probably the belief that you were going to stay up if you'd have played on, how did you take that as a player?
It was tough to take. I didn't really see that. I never really saw that being an outcome. If I'm honest with you, from the outset, I never really saw that being an outcome. I always thought that it would be too unfair to relegate a team without giving that team the opportunity to stay up, kind of thing. So I wasn't really. I was quite shocked and surprised that that was the outcome. But once the decision was made, there was nothing you could really do. You kind of, something you had to accept and move on. Really, like there was no, there was nothing you could really do. Like it was out of our control. So, it was hard to take, but it was just one of them things. With everything that was going on, it was a decision that was out of our hands. So something we just had to accept and roll with the punches.
As a player, though, to hear some clubs say that they, and rightly so in some cases, that they couldn't afford to play on, and you had sympathy with a lot of clubs to say that they couldn't afford to play without fans, and then you see them this season. They've recruited players, they bought players, they're playing a full season without fans. Does it not raise question marks and add to a bit of frustration to why last season couldn't have been played out?
Not really from my point of view. I mean, I'm not really too familiar with what's going on behind other clubs and the finances. So it's not something that I put massive thought towards, to be honest with you, about, clubs recruiting and whether they could have, they came to the decision to stop the season for whatever reason they did. And, it's something we have to accept. I mean, it's not something, it's a shame that it happened, but it happened. So in life, just in life in general, you can't dwell and look back and think, what if? You have to just roll with the punches. And Tranmere in League Two now, and you're doing really well. So it's one of them things that looking back in it in a couple of years' time, it'd just be like a shame. But hopefully, they can get back to where they was.
And Rovers this season, they've came down and they've absolutely started fighting again. And I know you're doing well yourself at Exeter, but Rovers are now on the verge of a fourth trip to Wembley in the Papa John's Trophy final against Sunderland. Now, this time last year, who'd have thought this year that we're going to be in contention to go up and in a cup final? It's a great achievement for the lads, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean in terms of you can't dwell, because look, with a blink of an eye, there's another Wembley trip on the cards. So it's just one of them things. But yeah, I still speak to a few of the boys, So obviously, I was delighted for them to have another Wembley trip. It seems as if it's a Wembley trip per year, really. But yeah, obviously, I'm delighted to see them get through, and obviously, I'll be watching the game, and hopefully, they can win it.
And you yourself, you've signed for Exeter. I know you've had quite a few games called off recently, but again, like Tranmere, well in contention for promotion.
Yeah, it's been a strange season. Without the fans and games being called off and all the rest of it. But yeah, we're doing well. Like Tranmere, I suppose the aim would definitely be promotion. However that may be, whether it be through the playoffs or automatics. Hopefully, you wanna secure it through automatics, so you don't have to go through the heartache of playoffs. But yeah, we're doing well, and just take each game as it comes, and yeah, hopefully by the end of the season we achieve what we want to.
And how are you finding life down on the south coast? Is it a bit different to Bergenhead?
Yeah, it's a lot different to Birkenhead. It's a lot different to up north. To be fair, it's been a bit strange. Obviously, since I've been here, I've kind of been in lockdown the whole time, really. So I haven't really got to explore the city, and etc. But yeah, I've settled in well, and I'm enjoying my time.
Brilliant, Sam. And hopefully we can get fans back by the end of this season. Hopefully the Tranmere fans can give you the reception that they deserve, because they never got to say goodbye to you. And they still fondly think of you as well.
Yeah, I had a good relationship with the fans. Obviously through setting up the goal at Wembley and stuff like that. So, but yeah, my family, they all moved up with me to up north, and the fans when they're nothing but great with my family. When I was in the boxes and stuff like that. My son, he still talks about Tranmere now. He's still got a few of his kits and stuff. So yeah, definitely, it'd be great to see some familiar faces if I do. If the fans are back by the time we play at Prenton Park. But yeah, it'd be great to say bye to a few people.
Brilliant, Jake. And we wish you every success this season at Exeter, just not against Tranmere.
Thank you very much.